Sandy.
Yes, man.
Welcome to Three Corner Table. Three Corner Table is personal dialogue with artists.
Yes.
Artists in all the disciplines, living and working in Aruba. So three corner because each corner is you represent one corner, I represent one corner, and the person looking this video represent the other corner. So it's three corner table because it's based on opinion of three different people.
Yes, I understand. Great.
So welcome to Three Corner Table.
Nice to have you here. Yeah, great.
It's a pleasure for me being in your studio here in Aruba, and also talk to you about different topics. Actually, two main lines I research through Three Corner Table. One is to know more about you, about your personal history here in Aruba, and the second one is know more about your work. So, can you tell me and tell the people with actually watching this video a level of you here in Aruba?
Now, for me, it's really important the feeling of a sort of adventure for me, because of to find myself in a new environment and to find the inspiration and the feeling with the surroundings. And it's totally different as where I'm coming from. I'm from the Netherlands originally. I was born in Amsterdam, and now in Aruba, it's like I reinvent myself. It's a feeling really great, and my works are beginning to flourish, and every day I find new opportunities to implement pieces what I found in my surroundings, to implement there in my art.
So you're born and raised in Amsterdam?
I was born in Amsterdam, yes, and een beetje in kind of the suburbs of Amsterdam. I was born in Amsterdam, and then later on in the suburbs of Amsterdam.
So how long you have living here on the island?
I'm now here for about 3.5 years. So
3.5 years, and recently I know your work. So for me it's not a shame, but I think it's always the perfect moment to get engaged with your work. And also, you have a specific motivation to choose Aruba as your house?
Well, for about 25 years ago, it was the first time I was in Aruba, and after that I go to lots of other places around the world, but always Aruba was in my mind, and it was the first place when I'm going to for the second time. I loved it more than the first time and never experienced different. So that for me always I remember that feeling about, yeah.
I remember very well the first time I visited the island. It was in the '99. So I reached in a moment with a very let's say a high level of a contemporary art activities, and I get in contact with a scene that I never see again. So I experiment in the last 20 years different aspects of the same island, but something is still the same, and it's my motivation until now to stay here. And is the perception of the wind, the sensation of the light, and also the sea function as a mirror and to project all these beautiful colors in the sky every afternoon. So for me, every afternoon is a show. It's a show where I want to contemplate and also inspire other ones to experiment that feeling. So you have a specific motivations which you can relate your work with Aruba as a nature, as a...
Yeah, but also, nature of course, but also the history of the industrial part of Aruba. It's a really important part of Aruba, the history of the refinery. Lots of people work there. I visited the museum one time in San Nicolas, and I was really touched by it. The older people talking about their work in these days. It was really hard. Also with the environment and all the situations. It was really everybody was really busy to making a living in these days, and yeah, I'm also a guy with lots of experience in industrial areas. I'm living in industrial areas, but also the combination and the symbiosis with the nature and the industrial, the combination of that.
Yeah.
You can find it also back in my work. I like the combination of materials that you don't think they don't got something to do with each other. You think what? But when they're coming together, there's a kind of new feeling and experience when you see them together. Then there comes a new feeling that lots of times I'm triggered about that. So bring pieces together that you in first appearance think what you got to do with it together, and you bring it together, and there is something in it. There's a story in it. Both pieces, and you bring it together. So you bring two stories together, and you don't have to. Yeah, you feel it already, and that's for me important. And
it's really visible in your work.
Yeah.
This parallelism of procedences of materials, let's say.
Yeah. And what I always had when I leave my work and for a couple of days and I'm coming back to it and I look at it again, then instantly it struck me from wow, that if it isn't even possible, you know.
But your educational background is in art. This is your education is in art.
From early ages I was connected with art.
Yeah. Other professions besides the art, because when I see your work, I see integral knowledge about handle materials put together, things that I think that never can be added to each other. So, beside the passion and the research to produce art, and your educational background, is related also with different materials.
Yeah, I love techniques, and I work with I have lots of knowledge about different materials, and to combine different materials with each other. I know a lot of knowledge about how the structures behave under different circumstances, because for outside, inside. Sometimes you see my work lots more, how you call it, stressed, and another time you see my work and it's really relaxed. It's like a living piece. I love to see a living piece. So when you walk in the room and you walk in the room the other day and you see the same piece, but there is something with it. There is something about the reflection of my work. I love it. I love it. And lots of people say, yeah, I've seen your work and I feel different feelings. You know, on the side happiness, and on the other side it's how do you call it? Not stressed, but more like
sadness.
Yeah, toughness and more
No, I
boldness.
I understand the feeling what you're talking about, and a lot of people connect with art through this emotional and symbiotic feelings, no? So where you find all these materials? How is the process going on?
Yeah, sometimes in most places you don't expect. Then I see something and then I walk by it, and then a couple of days later it's still in my mind, and I think, why I have a sort of connection with it, with something, a product or a piece or something laying around. And a couple of days later, then comes a connection. I think, wow, it's laying there for me. It's for me. I had to use it in one of my adventures to make something beautiful, make something that makes sense. But it takes for me a lot of time to recognize it in myself, because it's important for me to think from, okay, it's there, leave it there. It will come in a couple of days, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But one time then is it exact like a puzzle. I needed it, and then I pick it up, and then the one time I pick it up, then the story begins for me.
Yeah.
Then I think I find out from, okay, I need that piece there, and it stays there. And a couple of days later, I look again at the same piece.
How long you can be working in one piece?
Yeah, I can make progress in a couple of days when I'm really focused. I forget my surroundings and I go for it. And sometimes for a week or so, 2 weeks, there is nothing. There is like space, and then I've learned now. Then okay, leave yourself alone. Don't be stressed about it. It will come. It will come. And then one day, or in the night, and it pops up. Okay, that piece is really necessary for me. And then I'm going to work with it. And then I'm going like crazy. I want to see the fruits of that.
Yeah, the final product of
yeah, absolutely. I don't hold on, and that I can't stop then.
So, in your artistic career, you manage the possibility to show your work in the Netherlands, to show your work here in Aruba, and other countries too, and other places?
Primarily in the Netherlands, and here in Aruba, in the art fair.
And you never in your career make a solo show, a solo exhibition for yourself in an exhibition room, complete for you?
Complete for myself? No, that I remember. No, I had one time in my house. I had in the Netherlands. I had an exhibition, but it was in combination with other artists.
Yeah.
So, but solo for me.
We can expect the artistic production for the last 3.5 years, or you want to show in this exhibition other pieces you have done from the Netherlands, or all your artistic production has been done here in Aruba?
Well, mainly what I created here in Aruba, but also some special parts from the Netherlands.
So
because when I was working in the Netherlands, I already knew that I going to Aruba, and I made some pieces in the Netherlands with the inspiration of my new adventure. That will be possible in Aruba.
So pieces we never would see before.
Absolutely, yeah. I have some pieces.
So nice.
Yeah,
because I know your artistic production. I was observing very careful scenes. A year and a half already. So I self I'm really new to see.
I got some new pieces.
These boxes and this opening for the first time.
I have some closed boxes already. It's in my container. Are some boxes. Not even open it. So.
To finish this interview, I have a very clear, important question. So. The signification of Aruba in your new beginning as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
So, how you can project that? How are you taken from this island to make a principal resources of your artistic production?
The artistic resources. For me, there are endless here. I got lots of freedom to express myself, and I have lots of new ideas and experience already on the island. I'm really confident about the progression in my work. You will see things you really ask about. What the hell is this guy doing? But absolute. I'm really. My strength is really great about it. Yeah.
Well, as a curator of your solo show, your first solo show in Aruba, I will be the platform of and also the support to make this activity possible.